Hey guys, happy Sunday. It wouldn't be the beginning of Kelly Alexa vlog, would it, if I wasn't fixing my hair like this or drinking something. I actually don't have my glass of water here or my coffee, and that's because I just came in here really quickly and we were actually talking about some protein shake recipes. No, actually there were these recipes for protein balls. I know that sounds funny. Protein balls on Pinterest, but I had made some and they were actually like really good. It's just weird to say protein balls, but it made me think about like when I first started paying attention to my diet and what I should be eating and should not be eating and focusing on. You know, sometimes we hear things and we all know, right, that, you know, cut your sugar, you know, don't have processed foods as much, try to eat clean, try to get more protein. But sometimes, especially if you're new, it can seem like very overwhelming. And if you have a all or nothing mindset, sometimes like people like me, it can seem even more overwhelming. And so I wanted to do a specific vlog today to talk about kind of cutting things down, cutting some of these concepts down and making it more easy for those of us that have to go to work, that have to travel a lot. How do you fit it in? How do you look at what you want to do as far as your goals, whether it's building muscle, losing fat, doing both, and how do you fit your fitness in to your lifestyle? Because really that's the key. So many of us, what is the most common thing that we all hear? I don't have time. I don't have time to work out. Or, you know, I want to eat right, but I work late at the office and the only things available is, you know, this or that, or I'm out to eat with clients all the time. I mean, there's always something that's basically at its very source saying I don't have time. And so a lot of what you're going to see me focusing on with myself, those of you that have been watching my videos for a while and have been, you know, learning along with me have realized that my biggest challenge, I love to work out, is fitting it in. I've started my own business and I find myself putting work first because I so enjoy what I'm doing. I'm so enjoying what I'm building. It's very hard for me, and it's hard for me when I love doing this. A lot of people that start working out are trying to lose weight and they don't enjoy it. They're like, ugh, I don't like getting in the treadmill. So it's even, I think, more of a challenge for them. For me, this is like trying to fit in something that I really enjoy doing, but I'm still having a difficult time. So that's what I'm working on, is refocusing my mind to realize how I can fit this in. Why am I holding an exercise band? Because this is one of the most simple tools when you're going to hear me and a lot of my Fitfluential bloggers talking about, you know, how do we fit this in? If you're going to start and not get into this mindset of, oh, I'll start in the new year because I've really got to focus, I've got to read a lot of books and I've got to start then. When we say start now, how easy is it to start now? You don't need to go out and buy a gym membership. You don't need to go out and buy all of this fitness equipment. Like, it's not this huge gargantuan lifestyle change. There are things that you can do along the way, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Are like, what are some tips to get started? And then, you know, what are some things that you can do to really fit it in where it's not going to overwhelm your life? Too many people, especially when you're starting, you know, you think you've got to go from here where you weren't working out at all, you were eating really bad, and you're really overweight. You've got 75, 50 pounds to lose, 100 pounds to lose, more than 100 pounds to lose, and you're like, oh, I don't even know how to get started. What would I do? You know, I'm going to have to go spend hours in the gym, and I'm going to have to not eat anything. No pizza, no bread, no alcohol. Start small. Start now. When you realize that you can just start fitting in a little bit here and there, then you realize it's not something that you have to put off 7 weeks so that you can prepare for it. You don't have to go take everything out of your cabinets at home and throw everything away and get all new cookbooks and all new, you know, completely clean food. I mean, there's things you can do now to start fitting it in. That's going to be the theme you'll hear from me in December. It's what you're going to hear throughout all of my Fitfluential peeps, my Fitfluential family. We're going to be talking about, you know, tips for getting started. And for getting started now, for not putting it off and making it too much of a big deal that you put it off and then you keep putting it off. Messy hair. Anyway, back to this really quickly before I get into the whole protein thing. I wanted to show you this because this is a really not a difficult band. This is a real simple, for those of you guys that haven't used this, a resistance band. I brought this up because I have this one out to do my therapy for my shoulder. And the reason I wanted to bring this up to you guys is I've talked about how great resistance bands are for when you travel. And you'll notice when I pack for my trip, we're heading to New York in a week and a half or so, I always pack bands. Bands are the most flexible tool to work virtually every muscle in your body. And people, we don't even realize how flexible these are and how good of a workout you can get. The reason I'm bringing this up now, as she's working on my shoulder and I'm doing different moves for my shoulder, sometimes, you know, she's doing things. She handed me a 1 pound weight, okay, and I was laying on my side and I had to essentially do, you know, where I'm taking the 1 pound weight and pull it up that way and then twist my arm and pull it up that way, okay, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, 1 pound. You know, when you focus on 1 pound and you're doing it that way, and it's particularly if you have an injury and you're really focusing and you're putting your shoulders back and not using your traps and you're isolating, I was amazed. Furthermore, she had me lay down on kind of like a massage table, and I was laying down, and then I had one of each 2 pound weights, and she had me doing essentially, let's see, almost like rows, right? Pulling them up this way, really slow, okay? Laying down on a bench, and then also flies, so reverse flies. But again, focusing on making sure I had my shoulders down, not doing this, because if you're doing this, you're pulling your traps in. So with me, she's always focusing on pull your shoulders back and then make sure that you're pulling with your back. I was doing those with 2 pound weights, you guys, and literally I was feeling the burn. And she's like, that's good, that means we're strengthening. But I'm just telling you, if you're like me, sometimes I've gotten so big with lift hard, train hard, and I'm all about it, you guys, but don't overlook and think, you know, say you got stuck with like an easier band, say you packed your bands and, you know, this is less resistance, right? You would be amazed how much, if you either tighten it up, you can be working, like right now, let me just tell you, I am so feeling this in my upper arms with this, and this is a very easy band. One of the exercises she has me doing, I don't know if I can demo it for you completely, is taking this here, because I've got a counter in my way. I don't know if I can do this. Taking this here, and then, hold on, I have to pull it out to here. I'm not doing this right, but it's because I have a counter right here, you guys. So, you know, taking this here and essentially going out to here, not bending though. So this is just for your demonstration. Bending it back and using my back. And if I, ow, I just hit my elbow. If I do that right, okay, if I do that correctly, and I'm focusing on just my back, and I move slow, and then I hold it, and then I come back, just this simple little band, I mean, and just me, who's, you know, used to working out for a while, I don't want to say it's killing me, it's really hard. So don't discount, you know, kind of going down a few notches, but just, sometimes if you just focus on form, and really just, you know, it's like somebody, I was watching a workout video, and they were like, you don't even need equipment, you can just flex your arm and flex your arm. If you really wanted to, you could work out your biceps by just flexing, right? And continuing to flex. I'm working that bicep. I don't have the 25 pounds that I usually would do, or the 20 pounds, excuse me. I'm getting a little braggy. But if you've ever seen a figure competitor practice posing, you know, when they're doing like this and they're holding it and they're really flexing, that's work. You don't even have any resistance, but you're working. Don't ever second guess the amount of work that can be done. So, fitting fitness in, it can happen anywhere. You could take this to your office. You could do this anywhere. Now, one of the things that I told you guys I'm really, really working on, my diet has been so bad, and here's how it's been bad. I hate it when my freaking camcorder does that. It does that little, you know, focus thing. I'm so, again, because I've been putting work first, I go into my office, I'm having my coffee really quick in the morning with my oatmeal. Sometimes I forget to do, I'm kind of over the idea of oatmeal and protein powder because I've done that so much that I like different ways of incorporating protein. And I don't know about you, but if I had eggs for breakfast every morning, I would lose my mind. So being able to use protein shakes and other options for protein is a lifesaver. Now there's two things. First of all, I'm going to talk about 2 products that I'm using. And please note, I will put this in my disclosure tab. GNC is a client of Fitfluential, so please note that these can I talk today? These were sent to me by GNC, but these are completely my opinions. Those of you guys that know me know I always just share my opinions. Anyway, I've been using 2 products from GNC. Their Lean Shake, which is more about, you know, kind of losing weight, obviously. And then I'm using their AMP protein powder, okay? This is more about, I would say, I'm probably not sharing the right It's probably best for me to have some of the GNC people share what they should be sharing about the product, but these are the two. This is more about maybe leaning down. This is more about specific, getting enough protein for building muscle.